Hi Aquarius, and welcome to your October 2018 Tarology 33 reading. We have a Celtic Curl spread in front of us, which is normally 10 cards, but you got an extra card in the position of your influence on the situation and in the environment's influence on the situation. And then we have an Oracle card as always that we read at the end and help tie everything together. Let's get through the cards one by one, starting with the main situation. Main situation, we have the Seven of Pentacles. So this could just be saying that you're feeling exhausted right now. Maybe you've been working on something for a long time and you're starting to second guess if that effort has been worthwhile or not, if you're seeing the payoff from it. Um, Sometimes I view this as a comparison card because you see he's looking at the Six Pentacles there, and then he has the one that looks like it's new. And so maybe whether he's comparing it himself to another person, saying, well, I've been putting in the same work as this person, why do they have Six Pentacles and I only have one? Or maybe, he's not seeing that, okay, this pentacle I just planted, eventually I'll have more of those as well. Maybe he's forgetting that, yeah, it took a lot of work to get those Six Pentacles, but at least they're there and they're his, they're still right there for the taking. Other times it could just be looking at it and deciding, okay, I have these Seven Pentacles, but do I feel fulfilled? Do I have the energy to keep putting into growing more of these pentacles in this way, or is there another way that I should go about it? So this could be referring to a job that maybe you've been working at for a long time, a creative project, even relationships for some of you. Not sure I necessarily see it as a relationship thing just yet, but we'll see as we go along. It's certainly possible since you have the Page of Cups in the past position, but one way or another, like I said, it just feeling like you've put in a lot of work and not sure you're seeing the results the way you should. And I know for you guys, you went through those eclipse energies. You're pretty much done now with the Leo Aquarius axis of eclipses. I think there might be one more 0 degrees Leo next year when the sun is in your sign, but for the most part, all of those heavier eclipse energies you guys were dealing with are gone. You had Mars going backwards through your sign for a while this summer. It's finally going forward. I'd say, I think around the 9th or 10th of this month, it'll finally be at the point it was at when it first went retrograde, and then it'll really, the Mars retrograde energy will completely be done at that point. So that could be what this is pointing to as well, that you felt like you were spinning your wheels during that time with Mars retrograde. Oh, I've been putting in so much work here and it hasn't been giving me the results I was hoping for. In the challenge position, we have the Nine of Wands. So this is another energy that points to that as well, in my opinion, saying that, you just might feel on guard and not sure that you have more energy to put into something, feeling like, okay, well, I've been putting in all this work, I'm not seeing any clear, tangible proof that I'm getting the results from it. So that might have you feeling on guard, might have you feel like you were taken advantage of in some way. If you look at, he has the bandage around his head, feeling some wounded in some type of way, whether it be emotionally or whatnot. But those two cards just say that right now you might not have the best outlook regarding what you've been going through. But good news is, in the foundation position, we have the Nine of Cups. This is often referred to as the wish card. Beyond that, to me, it symbolizes a lot of the times just being open and receptive. I think we might add a message similar to that for you guys last month. Just being more open and receptive. Knowing that you have put in the work, right? You look at those 9 cups behind them. That's saying that, hey, these are the things that I've experienced. This is what I bring to the table, right? This is what I have to offer, and being comfortable with that and saying, now I'll let things come to me. In the past position, we do have the Page of Cups. So let's say if we wanted to add this to the Nine of Cups, right? Maybe you're in that Nine of Cups energy, and in the past someone came along and brought that 10th cup your way, right? Or maybe it seemed that way. When I see this card, I sometimes think of an offer that maybe you don't take very seriously, right? You see the fish coming out of the cup. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I wouldn't want to be drinking what's in that cup. So, it could be an offer that's given you, but to put it in the most trite way possible, oh, something's fishy about the offer, right? So you weren't quite sure you could trust it. So maybe that's what that Nine of Wands energy is referring to. And maybe you've been putting in the work and you've been getting nothing but promises from your employer. Oh yeah, we're gonna give you a raise or a promotion soon, but you just feel like it hasn't been coming. If that's the case, yeah, Jupiter retrograde in your 10th house for a while, but it's moving direct now. You have Venus in your 10th house now. That will also start to move retrograde, so this could definitely be referring to career and life goal type stuff. And if that's the case, maybe again in the past you got an offer you weren't sure you could trust. And why I say that is in the present situation you have the Seven of Cups. So to me this is just feeling confused, similar to the Seven of Pentacles, but just, more of an emotional confusion. Sometimes this can mean that you have a lot of options on the table as well, and you're having difficulty in deciding which way to go. Maybe that's what's been happening too with Mars retrograde. Maybe everything felt held up for you and you were feeling stuck, and now with it moving forward again, now you feel like there's too much on the table and you're like, I don't know which way to go. We have the Eight of Wands at the bottom of the deck too, which means a lot of communication and a lot of offers could be coming your way. So things that felt stuck now, everything seems to be moving again, and you might just be feeling a little bit overwhelmed by that. In the near future position, we have the Judgment card. So to me, this could be saying that something that you thought was dead in the water has come back to life. So maybe an offer, like I said, it could be towards the end of June when the retrograde started, or early in the summer when the retrograde had started. Could be referring to that. Could be referring to, let's see. Well, you also had those eclipses, like I said, so maybe something that happened around those times that you thought, okay, this is the end of it. Maybe it's come back around. Like I said, around the 10th of this month, Mars will be passing that point that it started its retrograde at, and then moving forward into new territory that it hadn't been in for a few years. So that could be what you're looking at. But yeah, just something that maybe at the time wasn't right. Maybe the timing wasn't right with all the retrograde and eclipse energies. Maybe now it's coming back around and you're excited about that. In the present position, or rather, your influence on the situation, we have the Empress and the Ace of Wands. So just going to put it out there, seeing these two cards together, the first thing I'm going to say that comes to mind is potential pregnancy. So for those of you who want that, awesome. Be sure to put in a lot of work to make that happen, if you know what I mean. For those of you who don't, keep that in mind. This is a pretty strong indicator of that. I mean, you could see the symbolism there with the Ace of Wands, and then the Empress can often refer to fertility, sometimes outright pregnancy. So you combine these two, whether male or female, just be cautious that there could be a conception this month. So if you don't want that, take the precautions. If you do, congratulations and good luck. But that's what I'm seeing first with this. Another way it could be, though, is, like I said, now you have Venus. There's the Venus symbol right there, moving through your 10th house. And yes, it will retrograde soon. But between that and then Mars, if we want to think of the Ace of Wands, that looks like a Mars type energy, right? Taking action of some kind. So maybe with Mars now moving forward and Venus and Jupiter both being in your 10th house currently, you're feeling energized and ready to start something new. And if that's the case, it looks like you have the support there. Something to keep in mind. So maybe something that, again, pointing to this Judgment card, you were trying to get off the ground. Maybe that's where that Seven of Pentacles was. You felt like you were putting in so much work, weren't seeing any forward momentum or results. Now you're going to see that Ace of Wands, and the outcome, we have the Chariot. We'll talk about that a little bit more when we get to it, but looks like you could definitely get some momentum this month and see some success if you do launch something new. In the position of the environment's influence on a situation, we have the Six of Wands and we have the Ace of Pentacles. So, again, another ace energy, right? This would be more of a financial nature usually. And then we have the Six of Wands. So, Six of Wands to me is a Leo card, and it represents between 10 to 20 degrees of Leo. So if you think back to the time when there was the new moon solar eclipse in mid-August, I think, around the 10th of August, 11th maybe, somewhere around there. But maybe this was something that you were trying to initially launch at that time. Maybe that was what was going on. You still had Mars retrograde at that time. I think it had just left your sign right around that time too and went back into Capricorn. So maybe something you were hoping to launch at that time maybe got shot down initially, and now you're receiving word from, let's say if it was a work project from your employer, you know what, we got the funding to do it, whether it be giving you a raise or you needed funding for a project. Some kind of positive news there. It looks like they're giving that to you. With the Ace of Wands, it might not be immediate as far as, they could just be saying, okay, well, before it was just an idea, but at least now we can give you a firm date of when you'll get the raise or when you'll get the promotion, when we'll be able to fund a new project, Or even if it's just your own individual, business you started for yourself, maybe now you'll start to see the financial benefits there. And for some of you, this could be relationship related as well. Maybe someone finally makes you a tangible offer. That could be what's going on there as well. In the hopes or fears position, we had the King of Swords. So this is normally my Aquarius card as far as the minor arcana goes. So this could just be saying you're hoping to feel like yourself again, like we said with Mars, doing all that retrograding in your sign and then in the Capricorn. You might have just felt low on energy in the past few months, feeling like everything you were doing, no matter how much effort you were putting into it, you weren't getting that forward momentum and traction you were hoping for. And if that's the case, the cards around here do seem to be supporting the fact that you will actually be able to get that forward momentum, especially if we look at the outcome card, which is the Chariot. So this is my major arcana card for Cancer. So some of you could be dealing with a Cancer. Cancer would be your sixth house as an Aquarius, so this could just be referring to a new start in your work life, maybe even health. Maybe with Mars retrograde, some of you are feeling very low on energy. Maybe, you weren't able to exercise as much as you normally do, or just do everyday, day-to-day activities, and now you finally feel re-energized again. That could be what's going on for some of you. Another way I view this card is also the North and South Node as well. And like I said, you did have the eclipses going on there for you. The South Node was in your sign, which was asking you to let things go. Maybe for some of you, it brought a new relationship in your life over the past 18 months. That's been very positively influential on you. And now it's actually, these eclipses are going to start taking place on the Capricorn and Cancer axis. So, asking you to let go of things, in the 12th house, and then providing you with some new things in the 6th house. So, definitely, new health, new work, day-to-day routines. Those should see success as we move through the next 18 months or so once the nodes are firmly into Cancer and Capricorn. And for some of you, this could just mean something as simple as getting a new car or traveling This could mean overseas travel a lot of times. Even if it's not overseas, it's usually a bigger journey. So not a 2 hour road trip, maybe somewhere across your country, wherever you live, something along those lines. Definitely a good card to get though. This is viewed sometimes as a victory card, similar to the Six of Wands there, but just a major arcana version. So looks like a pretty solid reading for you overall. And then your oracle card we have is Milk and Honey. There's the artwork for it. And 51 is the number in case that has any significance for you. Let's take a look at the message, see how it ties into the reading. All right, it says, the taste of prosperity, opportunities born of authenticity, nurturing abundance, trusting that your needs will be met. So again, looking at these energies here, the Seven of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, the Seven of Cups, that might point to, not necessarily trusting and being a little reluctant to be receptive and open. And like I said, I think you had a message about trying to be more receptive last month too. So maybe this is when it finally kicks in for you, because moving forward, it definitely looks like things start to gain momentum. The Oracle's message. You've entered a sweet time in your life, enjoying the land of milk and honey that everyone wants to experience. It's an interlude that feels more languid than ambitious, when all your senses are awake to the unlimited possibilities in the universe. These times are precious and only come when you're in your authentic zone, wearing the world as a loose garment, not wanting, yet able to be nourished in ways both tangible and subtle. Abundance is an energy that you are a living part of. All your needs are being met. You are given the gift of nourishment in every form. So, that speaks pretty loudly to the Empress energy that we have here and your influence on the situation. So, like I said, maybe you have opened up to being receptive and you're starting to see the rewards from that. Alright, for those of you if this resonated as a relationship reading, we'll read that next. It says, sensuality, connection, and passionate romance between lovers, sweet moments of understanding, and love among friends and family are all here for you to savor now. Your heart's calling will be answered. Let your thoughts and feelings be sweet with gratitude, and you'll be nourished with the honey of abundance. So, this didn't sound like a huge relationship reading, right, overall, but that's definitely a good message there. And it even says friends and family could be in the mix there as well, so something to keep in mind. Alright, and for those of you this resonated as more of a finance reading, we have a prosperity message. It says, there is only one authentic you. This version of yourself is Spirit's emissary in the world. When you're in alignment with the truth that you are a unique expression of the divine, your ego can rest and your soul can illuminate your purpose. Now is the time when you're seeking your true north. When you find this direction, you automatically step into prosperity, and the world brings you evidence of abundance. Miracles are a choice and a way of seeing the world. With every choice you make right now, you have the potential to seize good fortune and embrace your destiny. Opportunity will lead to your best life now. Be open to them. You're getting a sweet taste of what you want. So again, like we said, with the Nine of Cups here, the Empress with the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles in the environment with the Six of Wands, Judgment here, it looks like things are really going to start moving forward for you. The Chariot, Eight of Wands, there's a lot of cards here pointing to forward movement. And like I said, that would align with the fact that you guys have been dealing with the Mars retrograde, like I said, all summer in one way, shape, or form, whether it was in your sign or then when it went into Capricorn, into your 12th house, and now back into your sign. That's finally going to clear up this month in October, so that's probably what that's pointing to. So it looks like both the cards and the astrology line up in that regard. And like I said, you guys are done with those eclipse energies finally. I'm sure you're happy to see that go as well. So we'll wrap up there, and I'll talk to you all next month. Bye.